Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podcast Period, the internet's spookiest podcast. If you couldn't tell, oh, also David's here. Duh, I don't know why. Just spaced out on that. My bad. If you couldn't tell, this is our Halloween episode. It's also our 69th episode. So I'm truly hoping that nobody takes offense to this. We're going to do something that has a little bit of a slant in both. We're not going to go like full bore into the 69 thing. So this is okay. I'll spit it out straight. Okay, we're doing our first true crime episode. We're doing it on Gary Ridgway, which, if you know anything about serial killers, is the dude that killed prostitutes, okay? I'm sorry. I know it was a bad idea, but we're doing it anyway. I'm already here.
Spit it out.
We're already recording. There's no going back. If we get canceled from this, then you know what? So be it. It's been a good run. We made it to 69 episodes. I guess it's just where it ends.
Well, I mean, if it's anything like the last Halloween episode, it'll go up for all of a day, get taken down, and somebody who promised he'd edit it never edited it.
Yeah,
and it never got put back up.
I'll do it eventually. Maybe before we get to episode 100, we'll have actually 69 episodes on the feed. Whatever. It was my fault for picking stories on subreddit that may have been copyrighted, so whoopsies. Oh well. Anyway, this stuff isn't copyrighted because I rewrote most of it, and some of it came from Wikipedia, and Wikipedia doesn't sue anybody, so we're gonna go with it. Anyway, I do have to preface this with, I don't know much about this case. I don't think David is much into true crime. I'm probably a little bit more into it than he is, because I listen to a couple of podcasts about true crime. But
I love the shows, though.
Yeah?
I watch these type of shows mostly because my mother watches these types of shows all the time.
Okay. Do you know anything besides what I said in the intro? Do you know anything in particular about this one?
I don't know who this person is at all. So.
Okay. So, I guess we'll just get into it. We're not sure how long this is going to take, so if we have time, we do have a couple of trailers and a discussion topic that we're going to get into, but I'm not going to make any promises, so if that doesn't end up happening...
Stop stalling and let's go!
Next time. Anyway, without further ado, here we go. We're going to talk about Gary Ridgway. February 18th, 1949, a day that will forever live in infamy for those in the know. And soon, you will be one of those people. It's the birthday of one Gary Ridgway, also known as the Green River Killer. Gary was born to Mary Rita Ridgway, a sales clerk at J.C. Penney, and Thomas Newton Ridgway, a bus driver. He was the second of three boys. Gary was never the favored child. That honor went to his brother Gregory. Gregory, who was only 1 year older than Gary, ran for student office at their high school and majored in physics at a respectable college. Meanwhile, Gary's IQ was measured in the low 80s. Gary didn't have a juvenile record, but the signs of sociopathy were still very much present. He committed arson, tortured small animals. One time in particular, he killed a cat by trapping it in the freezer, and wet the bed until he was 13. Those bedwetting incidents are particularly interesting, as his mother would wash his genitals after each episode. He would later tell defense psychologists that, as an adolescent, he had conflicting feelings of anger and sexual attraction towards his mother, and fantasized about killing her. When Ridgway was 16, he stabbed a 6-year-old boy who managed to survive the attack. According to the boy's testimony, when he asked, "Why did you kill me?" Gary answered back, "I always wanted to know what it felt like to kill someone." Then he left the boy alone to die, laughing as he walked away. Ridgway seems to have been extremely sexually frustrated. According to the women in his life, Ridgway had an insatiable sexual appetite. His 3 ex-wives and several ex-girlfriends reported that he demanded sex from them several times a day. Often he would want to have sex in a public area or in the woods. Ridgway himself admitted to having a fixation with sex workers with whom he had a love-hate relationship. He frequently complained about their presence in his neighborhood, which I didn't put in the doc, but his father apparently also had a big-time problem with sex workers in his neighborhood when he was growing up and mentioned it frequently. But he also took advantage, this is Gary, but Gary also took advantage of their services regularly. Some have speculated that Ridgway was torn between his lust and his staunch religious beliefs. Speaking of his religious beliefs, it has been noted that Gary became religious during his second marriage, proselytizing door-to-door, reading the Bible aloud at work and at home, and insisting that his wife followed the strict teachings of their pastor. Ridgway would also frequently cry after sermons or after reading the Bible. Despite his beliefs, Ridgway continued to solicit the services of sex workers and wanted his wife to participate in sex in public and in inappropriate places, sometimes even in areas where his victims' bodies were later discovered. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Ridgway is believed to have murdered at least 71 teenage girls and women near Seattle and Tacoma, Washington. In court statements, Ridgway later reported that he had killed so many that he lost count. A majority of the murders occurred between 1982 and 1984. The victims were believed to either be sex workers or runaways whom he picked up along Pacific Highway South. Ridgway sometimes showed the women a picture of his son to trick them into trusting him. They would engage in sexual activity, and after minutes of intercourse from behind, Ridgway would wrap his forearm around the front of their necks and use the other arm to pull back as tightly as he could, strangling them. He killed most victims in his home, his truck, or a secluded area. Most of their bodies were dumped in wooded areas around the Green River, the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, and other dump sites within South King County. There were also 2 confirmed and another 2 suspected victims found in the Portland, Oregon area. The bodies were often left in clusters, sometimes posed, usually nude. He would sometimes return to the victims' bodies and had sexual intercourse with them. Ridgway later explained that he did not find necrophilia more sexually satisfying, but that having sex with the deceased reduced his need to obtain a living victim and thus limited his exposure to being caught. Because most of the victims were not discovered until only the skeletons remained, 2 victims are still unidentified. Ridgway occasionally contaminated the dump sites with gum, cigarettes, and written materials belonging to others, and he even transported a few victims' remains across state line into Oregon to confuse the police. In the early 1980s, the King County Sheriff's Office formed the Green River Task Force to investigate the murders. Task Force members included Robert Keppel and David Reichert, who periodically interviewed incarcerated serial killer Ted Bundy in 1984. Bundy offered his opinions on the psychology, motivations, and behavior of the killer. He suggested that the killer was revisiting dump sites to have sex with his victims, which turned out to be true, and if the police found a fresh grave, they should stake it out and wait for him to come back. Also contributing to the investigation was John E. Douglas, who developed a profile of the suspect. Ridgway was arrested in 1982 and 2001 on charges related to prostitution. He became a suspect in the Green River killings in 1983. In 1984, Ridgway passed a polygraph test. On April 7th, 1987, police took hair and saliva samples from Ridgway. Around 1985, Ridgway began dating Judith Mawson, who became his third wife in 1988. Mawson claimed in a 2010 interview that when she moved into his house while they were dating, there was no carpet. Detectives later told her that he had probably wrapped a body in the carpet. In the same interview, she described how he would leave for work early in the morning some days, ostensibly for the overtime pay. Mawson suspected that he must have committed some of the murders while supposedly working these early morning shifts. She claimed that she had not suspected Ridgway's crimes before she was contacted by the authorities in 1987, and she had not even heard of the Green River Killer before that time because she did not watch the news. Author Penny Moore had interviewed Ridgway in prison, and he said while he was in the relationship with Mawson, his kill rate went down, and that he truly loved her. Of his 49 victims, only 3 were killed after he married. Of his 49 known victims, only 3 were killed after he married Mawson. Mawson told a local television reporter, "I feel I have saved lives by being his wife and making him happy." The samples that collected in 1987 were later subject to DNA profiling, providing evidence for his arrest warrant. On November 30th, 2001, Ridgway was at the Kenworth truck factory where he worked as a spray painter when police arrived to arrest him. Ridgway was arrested on suspicion of murdering 4 women nearly 20 years earlier after first being identified as a potential suspect when DNA evidence conclusively linked semen left in the victims to the saliva swab taken by the police. The 4 victims named in the original indictment were Marcia Chapman, Opal Mills, Cynthia Hines, and Carol Ann Christensen. 3 more victims, Wendy Caulfield, Deborah Bonner, and Deborah Estes, were added to the indictment after forensic scientists identified microscopic spray paint spheres as a specific brand and composition of paint used at the Kenworth factory during the specific time frame when these victims were killed. Early in August 2003, Seattle News reported that Ridgway had been moved from a maximum security cell at King County Jail to an Airway Heights minimum medium security level tank. Other news reports stated that his lawyers, led by Anthony Savage, were close to a plea bargain that would spare him the death penalty in return for his confession to a number of the Green River murders. On November 5th, 2003, Ridgway entered a plea of guilty to 48 charges of aggravated first-degree murder as a part of the plea bargain he agreed to in June that would spare him execution in exchange for his cooperation in locating the remains of his victims and providing other details. In his statement accompanying his guilty plea, Ridgway explained that he had killed all of his victims inside King County, Washington, and that he had transported and dumped the remains of 2 women near Portland to confuse the police. Deputy Prosecutor Jeffrey Baird noted in court that the deal contained the names of 41 victims who would not be subject to the State v. Ridgway if it were not for the plea agreement. King County prosecuting attorney Norm Mailing explained his decision to make the deal. And I've got a quote that you can read.
So, we could have gone forward with 7 counts, but that's all we could have ever hoped to solve. At the end of that trial, whatever the outcome, there would have been lingering doubts about the rest of these crimes. This agreement was the avenue to the truth. And in the end, the search for the truth is still why we have the criminal justice system. Gary Ridgway does not deserve our mercy. He does not deserve to live. The mercy provided by today's resolution is directed not at Ridgway, but toward the families who have suffered so much. I think that sums it up pretty nicely, actually.
Yeah, no kidding. On December 18th, 2003, King County Superior Court Judge Richard Jones sentenced Ridgway to 48 life sentences with no possibility of parole, and 1 life sentence to be conserved consecutively. He was also sentenced to an additional 10 years for tampering with evidence for each of the 48 victims, adding 480 years to his 48 life sentences. Ridgway led prosecutors to 3 bodies in 2003 on August 16th of that year. The remains of a 16-year-old girl found near Enumclaw, Washington, 40 feet from State Route 410, were pronounced as belonging to Pammy Annette Event. who had been believed to be a victim of the Green River Killer. The remains of Marie Malvar and April Buttram were found in September 2003. On November 23rd, 2005, the Associated Press reported that a weekend hiker found the skull of one of the 48 women Ridgway admitted murdering in his 2003 plea bargain with the King County prosecutors. The skull of another victim, Tracy Winston, who was 19 when she disappeared from Northgate Mall on September 12, 1983, was found on November 20th, 2005 by a man hiking in a wooded area near Highway 18 near Issaquah, southeast of Seattle. Ridgway confessed to more confirmed murders than any other American serial killer. Over a period of 5 months of police and prosecutor interviews, he confessed to 48 murders, 42 of which were on the police list of probable Green River Killer victims. On February 9, 2004, county prosecutors began to release videotape records of Ridgway's confession. In one taped interview, he initially told investigators that he was responsible for the deaths of 65 women. In another taped interview with Reichert on December 31st, 2003, Ridgway claimed to have murdered 71 victims and confessed to having sex with them before killing them, a detail which he did not reveal until after his sentencing. In his confession, he acknowledged that he targeted prostitutes because they were easy to pick up and that he hated most of them. He confessed that he had sex with his victims' bodies after he murdered them, but claimed he later began burying the victims so that he could resist the urge to commit necrophilia. Ridgway later said that murdering young women was his career. Ridgway was placed in solitary confinement at Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla on January 2004. On May 14, 2015, he was transferred to the USP Florence High, a high-security federal prison east of Canyon City, Colorado. In September 2015, after a public outcry and discussions with Governor Gay Inslee, Corrections Secretary Bernie Warner announced that Ridgway would be transferred back to Washington to be easily accessible for open murder investigations. Ridgway was returned by chartered plane to Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla from USP Florence High on October 24th, 2015. That's it. It's where he is right now, as far as I know.
Oh.
Any thoughts about that?
See,
he didn't say much while I was reading it.
Here's the thing. I think it takes a very specific, twisted mind to be able to even comprehend the actions of a serial killer, especially someone who goes selecting victims such as this for the specific reasons that he did. Yeah, there's allegations of abuse and molestation and things like that.
Abuse that needs to be said is coming from the person who killed potentially 70 people. So I'm not sure how accurate his word is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. My brain clearly isn't wired for this. I find it fun and fascinating, but it's like, dear God, like I watch shows and I get excited when these bastards get caught.
This is the sort of thing. It's like, it's a sick sort of fascination. It's not something that you would ever want to do. It's not something that you can comprehend. It's not something that's necessarily, like, enjoyable to hear about or to know about. But at the same time, it's... I don't know. It's not like I like hearing about the depths of depravity that humanity can go to. But at the same time, it's fascinating how crazy people can get.
Yeah.
And the lengths at which they'll go to satisfy their desires, whatever those desires might be.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the reason why I picked this one. I mean, I know it's a 69 joke, whatever, ha 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 ha. But at the same time, it's like, this guy is crazy. He's sick.
This is
70 people
this
potentially.
Is sick and twisted.
He had sex with them before he killed them. He had sex with them potentially multiple times after they had died. Like, dude.
And he said it himself. It didn't even, like, spur a higher satisfaction after the fact. It's like...
It wasn't even that he liked necrophilia more. It was just the fact that it was sex.
Why?
That was it.
He's just simply addicted to sex. Doesn't matter how he gets it.
Yeah, no kidding.
God.
We're definitely gonna have to do more of these, though. I like these true crime things. I want next time we're gonna have to wait maybe a few episodes before we do this again. But next time I want you to bring something. I want you to see if you can find something that you can put a doc together about and have on the side. So next time we want to do one of these, we can do it.
Okay, sure. We'll have to go after like a kingpin drug lord or something like that. Like, at least those I can somewhat like. That's, to me, that's a lot more fun. Like, okay, I get it. These guys, especially the murdering, okay, fine. I don't have that big of an issue with, as weird as that is to say. Like, okay, fine, you killed a bunch of people. It's all the other things, the sexual details, to say, oh god, and like, ugh. Hearing the way your mind ticks does not do anything for me. I'm sorry, but you're on your own now.
Maybe you could do God, what is that guy? The one that the Netflix show Narcos is based off of?
Gosh, I don't know. You're not thinking about the one that's somewhere in South America. Is that the one you were thinking about?
I think so.
Which I can't think of his freaking...
Pablo Escobar.
Yes, Escobar. Okay. Yeah. Escobar would be fun.
Yeah, you'll have to see if you can put a doc together about that. Then we can have another one of these. I like having these true crime episodes. So this is gonna be I think this has set a good enough precedent that we can do more than one now. I wasn't sure how this was gonna go, especially with the context, but
yeah, no, I mean,
I like it.
It's fun.
I like it.
It's as fun as you can make it. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Anyway.
It's interesting.
Yes.
Alright. So, what do we got next?
We are going to talk about Dune next. That finally came out. Let's see. Dune.
I'm sure you, like I, have some thoughts. Some thoughts.
I don't know. We'll have to see what your thoughts are, per se.
Okay.
We'll see. Okay. Before we get into that, let's talk. We'll do the synopsis, and then we can get into our thoughts about everything. Paul Atreides, a brilliant and gifted young man born into a great destiny beyond his understanding, must travel to the most dangerous planet in the universe to ensure the future of his family and his people. As malevolent forces explode into conflict over the planet's exclusive supply of the most precious resource in existence, only those who can conquer their own fear will survive. So, that out of the way, what's your overall feelings about this movie?
Okay, so I'm going to have to admit that the trailers misled me a little bit. Okay. Just a little bit.
How so?
Specifically, and I'm really upset that it's the same... I'm going to blame this on Warner Brothers, because it's the same thing that happened with Suicide Squad. We had a whole bunch of Pete Davidson in the trailers, and then we have him in the movie for what? The first 10 minutes? And then he's dead. Same thing happens with Zendaya on this one. Almost every single shot that we see in the film was in the trailers, dang it. And I understand that clearly there's a reasoning behind this, because we're waiting for part 2. But, like, oh my god, piss me off, why don't you? I wanted to see more. I was very, very hooked into it. And I looked down, and I knew there was a part 2, because we had already somewhat talked about it. And I'm like, 15 minutes left.
Title cards.
Well, that too. But like, we talked about it before I seen that. I was actually going to mention, like, did you know that it said part 1 in the title? Because you said it was obvious by the way they left it, but you didn't mention anything but the title. But anyways, I'm looking like there's 15 minutes left. I'm like, what could possibly happen in the next 15 minutes that could possibly be any type of resolution whatsoever? And it's like, oh,
and there's not.
God.
There's not.
There's not.
The only thing that gives me hope, and the reason this doesn't make me mad like it did with What If. What If was, as far as we knew, was going to be its own standalone thing. There wasn't going to be any resolution beyond the single episode. This, I mean, there was certainly the possibility that we weren't going to get a part 2 in spite of all of the setup for it. Mm-hmm. And in putting part 1 in the title, because Warner Brothers is god-awful when it comes to planning that sort of thing, as we can see by the DC Universe arc that it has been so far.
Well, lack thereof.
But putting that aside, part 2 has been confirmed, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yes.
And I also kind of figured, beyond like the title card and everything, I also kind of figured there was going to be a part 2. Because this, I mean, neither of us have had any prior experience to this work before this movie.
Have you not read the books?
No, I never read the
I'm
books.
shocked. No. I thought you watched it. Ugh. I thought you knew the books and everything.
Nope. The first time I'd heard of Dune, I never got into it. And it's not something that I like. It was like I tried to get into it in high school, and I just couldn't get into it.
You just haven't.
It just never really crossed my radar or anything like that. But from working on our still as of yet unreleased sci-fi podcast that's definitely going to come out eventually.
Was exactly the only exposure that I had.
Matt was the only exposure that we both had to it up until this point. And he was like, this is a huge thing. Mm-hmm. So it made me think, like, right, they've already tried to do it in one movie before. I would hope that that history would not repeat itself in that sort of way. And I'm glad that it hasn't. Even though I think it left off in, like, a little bit of a weird place, I'm kind of fine with it because we know that there's going to be more to it eventually, even if we have to wait a couple of years like we did with Star Wars, as awful as of a comparison that I would have to say that is. I genuinely, with no prior experience to this beyond Matt, I genuinely enjoyed this more than I remember enjoying The Force Awakens when it came out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. See, the first one didn't really turn me off that bad. It was more when we got into the 8th film. And when I say the first one, I'm talking about the first of the newest trilogy, so the 7th film.
Right. Maybe I'm looking back on it.
You might be looking pretty retroactively, because we were both pretty excited with The Force Awakens. My recollection is not corrupted at this point.
I don't know. Maybe I'm looking back on it with whatever the opposite of rose-tinted glasses is. I don't know what that metaphor would be, but
it ain't the Midas touch.
Even still, I feel like this is a much better start to whether this is like a duology or a trilogy or whatever this happens to turn out being. I feel like it's a much better start to what it's trying to do than The Force Awakens was. Because it's not like copying anything. It's not playing off of anything. This is its own thing. As much as I defended it at the time, I think it's pretty clear nowadays that The Force Awakens is like, I mean, it's not A New Hope beat by beat by beat, plot point by plot point, but I'd say
it was kind of too close.
Yeah.
Had the whole thing gone in a different direction than it did, you could probably make the argument no. But considering the subsequent films did what they did, that's a pretty valid argument. Dune definitely has set itself up for something.
Yeah.
It's just, how is this going to be followed up? Because, and I don't want to sound condescending to the filmmakers when I say this, or condescending to anybody's particular like or dislike for this movie or their love of Dune. If the film is as bare, if the subsequent film and or films is as bare as this one is as far as substance goes, I'm going to have a real problem with it. Because with the notable exception of the giant betrayal that ends up coming down on the House of Atreides on Arrakis with the attack from House Harkonnen or Harkonnen, or however it's pronounced.
Yeah.
And the Emperor's
his special forces.
Yes, his special forces. Whatever.
Yeah.
My pronunciation is bad.
With the exception of that, I don't even remember what they were called.
The film's really lacking in substance. Yes, it's got its good points, but like a lot of it's like trancing through the desert, especially towards the end. We get the one duel at the end, which kind of livens up the end part for a little bit, but like the last 30 minutes is like, but we're setting up to something, and I accept it for what it is. As long as we get something fulfilling and eventful at the end. But if it turns out to be, let's say it turns out to be a trilogy, and the second movie is more of this long-term setup, we're playing the long game, but we don't have a lot of substance within the film. It's like, oh my God, just get on with it already.
We'll have to see. I might not find that as unbearable as you, because you absolutely, well, I wouldn't even say you absolutely hated it, because you barely watched any of it, but The Lord of the Rings. That sounds a lot to me like The Lord of the Rings. Like, there's plenty of action in The Lord of the Rings, but there's also a lot of walking around and talking and lore building and everything, so I don't think that I would have as much of an issue if the second movie was just more world building. I mean, obviously, it can't be just one long 2.5-hour conversation with them while they're walking through the desert or whatever. That would be the worst movie that's ever been made, ever. Bar none, I don't care how much world building you can do. You gotta break it up somehow. But even if a good majority of it is world building in some substantial way, I think I'd be fine with it. As long as we're still continuing. If we get a bunch of world building and then like the last half hour is the conclusion, I don't know how fulfilling that would be.
It just depends. We're talking about a film and or films. There's at least part 2 for sure, confirmed. That may be all it is. As long as there's a fulfilling conclusion somewhere, I could probably be okay with it. But
I think it's only going to be 2 films.
Probably.
It looks like at least according to the Wikipedia page, that this first movie is covering the first half of the book. So, we'll see the second half coming 2-3 years down the line.
Which is fine. I'm okay with it. The film as it stood by itself would be terrible. in my honest opinion, just because of where it's ending. Yeah. That's not the intended ending. That's not where it's going to end. Therefore, I'm okay with it. Because everything in the middle is really, really good. I just hate the last 30 minutes of blech. But that's fine. We're setting something up, and I totally understand that. I don't know what we're setting up.
I have no clue. No clue whatsoever.
I can't even begin to understand what we're setting up, but well, that's because I don't know the lore or the books or anything to go with it. So, whatever.
I think the good thing is this movie makes me want to go and search out the source material, but at the same time, I don't want to. Because I don't want to spoil the second half of this duology or whatever.
I totally get you, but I'm coming from another angle. I totally want to know more, but I'm not inclined to do it. I'm too lazy.
Oh, okay.
I'm too lazy.
I can see where you're coming from on that.
I'm going to be 100% honest.
The thing is, right, I have read tons of books. I have seen plenty of adaptations done to some of those books. Mm-hmm. And more often than not, the book far outshines the movie.
Yep.
Like, no contest.
I haven't seen an adaptation of a book that even closely lives up to the feelings I had when I finished the book versus when I watched the movie. None of them have come close.
I read Percy Jackson and the Olympians. That movie was, it was okay, but it was not the book.
I couldn't finish it.
I
couldn't finish it.
Yeah?
The movie. I couldn't finish it.
The movie?
I read the books. I couldn't finish the movie. No.
I read I Am Number 4, which is a fantastic book. The movie just...
No.
I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. I can't... Those are like the two big ones, because I never read Harry Potter, and I know there's people that love the Harry Potter movies, but I'm sure it's like it's the same.
It's the same thing. Anybody that I know, close friends that, and there's some that have read the books extensively several times. They all say the same thing. The movies didn't do them any justice.
Right, yeah. So I'm sure if I were to go and like read the book or listen to the audiobook, which honestly would probably be I would be more apt to do.
Yep.
Because ain't nobody got time for reading anymore. I'm sure if I were to go listen to it or whatever, that I would find the book way better than the movie is. And I don't want the book to ruin the experience of a good movie, you know? I'm sure this isn't a perfect adaptation because the book has got to be 412 pages. And we're covering all of that in 5 hours? If we're lucky enough to get a 2.5 hour movie the second time around too. I would argue that if you're reading at a normal pace, which I could probably finish it faster than this because I speed read pretty well, but if you're finishing it at a normal pace, I would argue that you're probably looking at anywhere from 10, maybe 15 hours reading it. So you've got all of this detail that you wouldn't get in the movie. And granted, movies are also a visual medium, so you do get more information that way. But I feel like there's always going to be some detail lost in the transition from the page to the screen. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
It just depends. Again, sometimes, they can be really, really descriptive as far as, like, let's say they're describing an object. They could be hands down very descriptive. They'll describe the texture, the color, the shape, and all that. And you could spend half a paragraph if you're really descriptive in a book. Whereas as a visual medium, okay, I see it. I might not exactly pick up on all these details. Like, okay, I'll know the color, but I might not see that, it's got this weird texture to it. It just depends. And is it in the foreground, the background? Oh, I don't know. I might lose half of that. So you're right. It sometimes you can pack more in a visual medium, and then sometimes you can't. Sometimes it just gets lost in the moment. You might see it, but it might be in an action scene. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, I know what that is. But...
I think this is a pretty good metric for how long the book is. I looked up the audiobook.
What's that?
It is 21 hours and 2 minutes. Yeah.
Whew.
It's dense.
That would take... Let's just say I was able to listen to it for 2 hours a day. That's going to take 10 full days. In the car. Yeah. That's a solid 2.5 week venture, probably.
Pretty much.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Woof. Yeah, see, and that's why I can't do books. I don't have that time to read.
Anyways, let's go ahead and give it our final rating, and then we can move on to the trailer, shall we? Sure. So what do you give it out of 5? Out of 5 Chris Snipes.
I would say...
Or no, sorry, I have to revise. 5 sandworms.
I was hoping you'd say sandworms. As it stands right now, it's probably a solid 4.25. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I would have to say I'm bouncing between like a 4.25 and a 4.5, somewhere around there. It's really good.
It's really good.
And that could change as that second movie comes out too, because it might be when you combine the two, it just elevates both of them. So we'll just have to wait and see. As it stands, though, you know what? Screw it. I'll give it a 4.5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I had my grief with the trailers, but I'm chalking this up to Warner Brothers because they did the same thing in a couple of different things that we see now. I don't want you to give me the entire freaking storyline of the person in the movie in the dang trailer. Don't do it. 7 minutes.
I'm not sure why
she
featured. I'm not sure why she featured so heavily in the trailers when she was in all of about 10 minutes of the movie, maybe.
And all of it is dream sequence except for the last 5 minutes, and even that is not important by no means. Now, it looks like it's set up to be something that's going to be very important based on the dream sequences and what she says at the end about desert power. This is just the beginning of desert power. Like, okay, I have faith. I want to believe. But
my problem with the trailers was that I thought we were going to get the betrayal and everything and him moving out to the desert people like halfway through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And instead it was like 2 hours in, and then we had a little bit of time for setup for the next movie, and then we were done.
Yeah.
So the trailers definitely didn't do any justice to that at all.
No, but they did, and I said this in the trailers too, when we were watching them, and as each subsequent one came out, I said the same thing about Halloween too, or Halloween Kills. They're drawing me in, and that's exactly what we said these trailers should be doing. And the movie did a good job with that too. It's like, okay, because I had to break it up into multiple viewing sessions because I didn't get to watch it today. So I watched some of it before I went to work, some of it during lunch, and I kind of goofed around at work and finished watching it at work. So I had to break it up a little bit, but I kept wanting to go back to it, and that's the hallmark of a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wasn't forced to finish it because of this, but okay, I gotta do this. Like, I wanted to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm with you. It was definitely hard not to want to come back, because I didn't necessarily break it up into multiple viewings on purpose. It was mostly because, I have to take care of kids and stop the movie.
We got responsibilities.
But it was never like, oh, I don't really feel like watching that right now. It was always like, well, where's this gonna go? I gotta keep watching it. I have to. There's no reason not to. So, yeah, I think that this is. It might be safe to say that this is the best movie we've seen this year. Suicide Squad was really good, but
I'm trying
this
to
might
think.
beat it out by a little bit.
I'm trying to think of other movies we've watched this year. When it
Yeah.
stands out, and the others aren't right now, then that's definitely a good sign.
Godzilla vs. Kong we watched.
That was really good. We also got
That was really good.
Black Widow,
Yeah.
which was also really good, but not
I don't
nearly
know.
as good
I don't
as
know
this.
if I was. Yeah, I don't know if I was into Black Widow as I think we watched more TV than we did movies this year because we had so much going on Disney Plus.
Yeah, all the MCU stuff that dropped on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
We had 4
And I
different
think-
shows to watch on that alone.
and I think we did the Mandalorian was earlier this year too, right? The season 2, or
If
Yeah,
it wasn't
season
this
2.
year, it was the end of last year. Yeah, season 2.
yeah,
The Tomorrow War definitely doesn't live up to this
yeah.
at all.
Tomorrow War was all right, but still not. Yeah,
No, that's probably a pretty fair statement then, because Black Widow, no. Tomorrow War, no. Godzilla vs. Kong.
it was good. It was good.
I could probably put those two neck and neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see where Dune lands when we get the conclusion.
That's fair.
That
That's fair.
it may elevate it or it may hinder it a little bit when we get some perspective into it.
You know what really sucks. This, I mean, I'm gonna even count this year. There hasn't been a year since Kingsman came out that I can definitively say, right after I've watched a movie, that particular movie is my favorite one of the year.
That's probably fairly accurate. Specifically for
Endgame,
you.
Endgame
Endgame.
may have come close. Endgame, I think, may have done it as well, but that's the conclusion of like a long-running series, so it was bound to. It was bound to be pretty good no matter what. I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Kingsman was like a breakout thing.
Well, yeah. And
Nothing existed before it.
Didn't have anything to base it on. Stood out on its own. Liked it a lot.
Oh yeah. Still have watched it multiple times.
Never get sick and tired of watching that.
No.
I need to get that in 4K.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be something. I think I've got both of those on Blu-ray at least.
I think I have Blu-ray for Kingsman. If it's not that one, it's the second one. I know you got me a Blu-ray of one of them. Just don't remember which one it is. But it wasn't 4K. It was only 1080p.
Yeah, well, you got to get yourself a 4K Blu-ray player too,
Just buy it off Amazon.
or that.
That's how I've done everything. As much as I like having digital media, I understand people that want the physical copies for stuff.
Oh yeah,
But I just don't have that desire. I don't need the physical copy. I'm going to be SOL when Amazon
I don't necessarily.
goes down.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like need it either, but I don't know. I like having the look of just having rows and rows of DVDs, even if I don't necessarily like watch them all the time. I don't know. It's just nice. It's nice to have.
It is nice to have. I just don't fiddle with them. Especially when almost my entire collection kind of got... Yeah, what's the point? As soon as Disney Plus dropped. Like, okay, all the movies are in there now anyway, so... That's literally like 2/3 of my collection is the Disney Classic stuff over there in my DVD case.
Wait. Oh, you have a lot of VHS still too, don't you?
Not as much. Not nearly as much. Most of the VHS stuff got replaced by the DVD. collection. Which sucks that you'd have to rebuy it on yet another medium. And I really wish Amazon would give you the option to, like, trade in your 1080p copy of this movie for, like, a $3 or $4 upgrade for the 4K version or something like that. And some of them they do. But others they don't.
The company that does that lets you mail them a physical copy of something in exchange for a digital one, is going to become the richest company, like, overnight. It won't even be funny. Because there will be so many people. Do you know, this will be the last thing that we'll talk about before we get into the trailers. I know we've put it off like 8 years now. Do you know how many people come to the shop that I work at wanting to offload their DVDs?
I'm sure it's tons.
I mean, realistically, not every one of those people is going to pay $2, $3, $4 for each of their DVDs wanting to, upgrade them or whatever, or have them on digital. But, you pick out a modest 10, maybe 15 or whatever, you send them in over time. You give the rest of them away to Goodwill or whatever, then you don't really have to worry about it anymore.
I get it. I get it.
Anyway, let's move on to the trailers portion of the episode. Now that we've rambled on far too long about stuff that has nothing to do with Dune for about like 20 minutes at this point. Yes, I did look at... There's nothing on my wrist. I just looked at my wrist for effect. Anyway. If you haven't listened to our trailers portion before, basically we've got a rating system that we're going to go through. We're going to watch the trailer, and then we're going to tell you, based on that trailer, whether we would go see it in the theater, whether we would go, whether we would wait for a rental, wait for a review, or not see it at all. Let me tell you, if we say that we won't see a movie, you know that trailer is trash. Like, y'all need to go back and re-edit something, because I think we've said that I could probably count the number of times on one hand that we've said that about a movie. Without further ado, our first trailer for the evening is for Lightyear.
Okay, status. Booster, go. GNC, go. Vital, go. Guidance, go, flight.
Cabin pressurization is underway.
As we prepare for ignition. Flight recorders are on. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have liftoff.
There's a star waiting in the sky. We'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a star waiting in the sky. He's told us not to go. Now it's always one. People. Let the children choose it. Let the children use it. Let all the children boogie. To infinity.
And
This is a problem with teaser trailers.
This is a problem with
It's
teasers.
that there's so little there at this point.
Can't form.
I don't know if I can realistically form an opinion. It looks cool. I'm very interested in the premise. I guess at this point, and it's no reflection on the trailer itself necessarily, it's just the fact that I can form almost no opinion on it. I just have to wait for a review.
Okay, so I'm going to elevate it just a little bit and say, yes, I would watch it. Not in the theaters. At this point, there's not enough to go on and say, yes, this looks like it's going to be a very worthwhile film that I'd want to spend my hard-earned money on theater tickets.
Right.
It's a Disney Pixar movie. It's about one of my favorite films, especially part of my childhood. I'm still very upset, and we had this discussion. I'm still very upset that Buzz Allen, that Buzz is not going to be Tim Allen. Nothing against Chris Evans, but
I mean, obviously,
that's going to be
we're
very
both big
startling
fans of
for
the
me.
MCU, but like, I don't get the reasoning behind
I really don't either.
not having Tim Allen do it.
I don't. No idea.
Yeah.
Don't know. Don't get it. But I would say now, if a trailer comes out and it's like, okay, I can tell that this is going to go down, and there's some that have gone down the road where I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not about this Disney Pixar life. I'll just flat out say, no, I'm not going to watch it, or I'd wait for a review to see if it's any good. As it stands right now, I'm, okay, yeah, I'd probably see it. I'm probably going to see it no matter what, but it looks good. I like the way it looks. It's just there's nothing.
I can't form it enough of an opinion to say whether or not I'd see it. Just wait for a review. Realistically, I could see it. I could not see it. I just can't definitively say whether or not I would. It looks like enough of something to want to see it. Mm-hmm. So nothing against it. It could turn out to be an amazing film.
We'll see.
We'll just have to wait and see. So
more trailer. Need more input.
Yeah. All right. So next we've got the trailer for Uncharted.
There are places out there you can't find on any map. They're not gone. They're just lost.
Hey, kid. A little young for a bartender, aren't you?
A little old for prom, aren't you?
Leaves are falling all around.
Everything in here. Why the map?
This is the path that Ferdinand Magellan took to sail around the world.
You know your history.
It's the biggest treasure that's never been found.
5 billion, easy.
That's not for me to go.
I think you're here because of your brother.
Well, you know my brother Sam?
If we find that gold, we find him too.
Yes, I'll keep on.
Who the hell is this?
I'm a friend of Sully's.
Sally doesn't have any friends. I should know I'm one of them.
You are a collector.
Well, I dabble.
I don't dabble. My family has been looking for this fortune for a very long time. So much blood.
I'm pretty sure he just threatened to kill me.
Don't touch your ear like that. You look like an idiot.
You have no idea who you partnered with.
I've been dreaming about this stuff since I was a kid. My brother Sam left one final clue.
Shouldn't have come out to play with the big boys, Ian, because you're about to get a proper Scottish welcome.
What?
Let me just say, when he started talking, I was like, I have no idea what he's saying right now. And the fact that he said what, I'm like, yes. Yes. I get it. I'm with you.
Yes. 100%.
Oh my God. That was good.
That was good.
I am interested to see. This gives me Kingsman vibes almost. Not quite the spy aspect of it, but the action comedy sort of aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I could see this going really well. The fact that it's based off of a video game too. I'm interested. I don't know. Right now, I guess I'll ball out. Let's go. We'll see it in the theaters. It looks good. It looks really good.
This is something that you and I would totally go see in the theaters. 100%.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. This earns more movie bucks. I'm okay with that.
It looks really good.
It looks really, really good. Man, he's on a roll. He's got so many good movies. It's not even funny anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to see where this kid keeps going.
Now we'll just have to wait until they finally release another trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home.
I'm getting kind of tired of that.
I'm so annoyed.
I'm also tired of seeing all the memes saying it's going to be next week or this or that or this or that. And I'm like, oh my God, just give it to me already.
Just give me another freaking trailer. Give me something. Mm-hmm. Even if it doesn't confirm that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to be in it. I don't care at this point.
Just give me something.
Just give me something. Oh my god. Anyway, our penultimate trailer for the night, we've got another trailer for The Batman.
Fear is a tool. But when that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning. I've been trying to reach you. Where's the gun? This is a powder king, and Ritter's the match.
I can take care of myself.
If this continues, it won't be long before you've nothing left. I don't care what happens to me.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
Whoa, take it easy, sweetheart. Hear everything they say, ain't you?
Maybe we're not so different. Who are you under there?
I'm vengeance.
If this did not solidify that I was going to like this movie, or if everything before this didn't signify that I was going to like this movie, this put a pin in it. I still want to talk more about this trailer, but I 100%, let's be real, I'm not going to go see it in the theaters because I don't go to the movie theaters by myself, but if I would, if I wanted to, I would 100% spend however much money a movie ticket costs, $8, $9, $10, whatever, and I would sit down in the theater and I would watch this movie. This looks fantastic. The fact that we're getting a younger, it looks like a more angrier Batman. The way that he fights, the way that he uses his opponents against him. That one scene where two dudes are shooting at him and bullets are flying all over the place and he's just walking at him like nothing's happening. Oh my god. That is perfect. Mm-hmm. This is shaping up to be the best Batman movie since the trilogy came out. Since The Dark Knight.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
I mean, what do you have for comparison? What mediocre films do we have for comparison?
Well, we've got the 1989 Batman was really good.
Oh, I thought you said
I have
since,
to say
though.
Well, since that, no. Since that, God, no. Since that, we've had Ben Affleck as Batman, which, I mean, maybe given better material, he could have been a better Batman, but as is, it's just... It didn't feel like an interpretation of Batman that should have been. Yeah. Because, the Batman in this movie goes and he flips this dude's car over, but he doesn't use explosives to blow it up and bullets to shoot people. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know. That interpretation was just not for me. Not at all. So, I'm glad we're going back to a Batman that, yes, is extremely violent, probably cripples some people, but I mean, he doesn't kill anybody. I'm cool with that.
What makes me mad about all of this is there's just so much confusion on DC Batman films because, it took them forever, but Marvel got into it and they got it right, dang it. You don't have to go back and redo Iron Man 15 times because you can't get it right. How many different interpretations are there going to have to be before you get a movie that is, okay, this is the Batman movie to see. This is the end-all, be-all of Batman films. That just shows you how bad they've had it over the years, that they have to keep doing it again because they can't get it right. This looks like they might get it right, finally.
The worst part is, as far as continuity goes, I don't even know if this is going to be in it. This might just be a standalone thing.
It might be.
I don't know.
And you can't tell because it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's a problem
I'm
that they
honestly
have.
I'm fine with the Dark Knight not having been included in their larger DC extended universe, whatever. But I think if they were going to redo it, they need to do what Marvel did and just introduce the characters by themselves. Because they had, like, I don't know, 3 movies before the Justice League came out. And that was it. And not, well, 4, I guess. Because of Batman v Superman. And that was the first movie that Batman was in this little thing. So, like, I don't know.
Hot mess is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a hot freaking mess. Physics question here. I'm just nitpicking at it because it was something that I saw in the trailer and I wanted to get your reaction. You got the spotlight in the sky, right?
Right.
We got the Batman symbol on it, right?
Uh-huh.
They never show it against a background where you're actually gonna see the damn signal. You're just gonna see a freaking beam of light. In this one, they did. There's clouds that it's reflecting off of, which would give the beam of light a place to stop, so you could actually see the outline.
Anytime that happens, there's supposed to be clouds that it's bouncing off of, because Gotham is like eternally, like, raining and dark or whatever. So,
and that's the justification for how this works.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. You see what I was just nitpicking, not because of this trailer, because this trailer did it right. There's actually clouds.
I get where you're coming from. Yeah,
it's like, no, it's just gonna be a beam in the sky.
That's what it's supposed to be.
I just had to find something to nitpick because this is a really good trailer. I would not see this in the theaters because I'm not as big of a fan as you are.
That's fair.
I would totally see this though. It probably, like, if we did see it in the theaters, it'd be because I was with you, but I could see us watching this.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to end up making me watch it anyway, so I have no choice. But as it stands, this looks really good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I really like the Dark Knight trilogy, so hopefully this is really good like that was.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the final trailer of the night, Red Notice.
Nolan Booth, the second most wanted art thief in the world. Special Agent John Hartley, FBI.
Hi, guys. How'd you find me?
You stole William Strang's Lady with the Red Hat from the Tate.
You can't prove that was me. I got that on Etsy.
I want you to help me catch the most wanted art thief in the world, the Bishop.
Hello, boys. It's so nice to finally meet you in person.
She set me up, framed me.
A few clever keystrokes and poof. Bye-bye, Agent John Hartley.
She's gonna steal Cleopatra's eggs. They're priceless. If we catch her together, I can clear my name, and I'll help you become the #1 thief in the world again.
Lift with your neck. Even if I did partner up with you, we still only have one brain.
What's the plan, son of a...
See?
Easy peasy.
I didn't know that I needed a movie with Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson together.
I didn't know that
until I
either.
saw this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
This looks really good. This makes me sad that I canceled Netflix, but this is like the first thing in God knows how long that's actually made me excited.
Well, you know what? There's a solution to that.
What's that?
1 month subscription.
That's true.
I will.
That's true.
I will pay whatever they've raised the price to, because I'm sure it's gone up since we've canceled. I will pay the $13 or so just so I can watch this film. I'm with you on that. I'm really sad. But it's the only thing. Like, I used to love having Netflix stuff to watch like this.
They had stuff coming out like all the time.
It got to be garbage.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, what the hell am I watching this for? Why am I paying for this? And then HBO Max had to come out and like, okay, I can't. I'm not getting 16 different subscriptions. Something's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, what have we gotten out of HBO Max versus what have we missed on Netflix? We've got how many films that we've watched on HBO?
I've missed nothing.
Exactly.
On Netflix so far.
So far, I call it a good deal.
We got Godzilla versus Kong.
Mm-hmm.
We got Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
We got Dune.
Yep.
Tonight.
Yep.
Maybe one other movie that I'm forgetting about. But we've gotten a lot more out of Netflix or out of HBO Max this past year.
Mm-hmm.
Since we've canceled Netflix, mind you, and that was maybe June or July or something like that.
It was.
So we've had half a year with HBO Max so far, and I feel that I've gotten more out of HBO Max in 6 months than I've gotten out of Netflix in like the past maybe
18.
year and a half.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I call it well worth my money and time, and well worth my investment to switch. Mm-hmm. And if I have to pay whatever it is, I'll do it. I actually want to see this a lot.
Yeah. I probably won't pay, but I'll see it.
I'll shoot.
Never mind.
Never mind.
You take that as you will.
I should have kept my mouth shut. It is available in select theaters.
That's right. I'm gonna go watch it in the theater.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no other way to do it. So
that's right.
Shh.
Anyway, I think that's where we're gonna leave it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us ramble. Hopefully you liked the first edition of our true crime episodes that we'll sprinkle throughout our regular mess. Yeah, let us know what you thought about Dune if you've seen it. Let us know what you thought about all the trailers that we've watched tonight if you've seen them. Give us a rating on whatever podcasting platform you happen to be listening on. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, like, turn on the notification bell, all that jazz. And we'll see you guys next episode.
All that jazz.
Bye-bye.
All that jazz. Bye, guys.
That's right.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Podcast Period. This episode was hosted and produced by Ben, co-hosted and edited by David. You can contact Ben on Twitter at BenPlaysVidges. That's Ben Plays, VIDYAS. And you can contact David on Twitter at Car6by16. If you'd like to chat with us about any of the topics on this episode, you can hit the show up at Podcast Period on Twitter, or shoot us an email at podcastperiodpodcast@gmail.com. That's all for this episode. We'll see you next time.
Are you recording on both?
God sakes, help me. Okay. Oh my god. Tired of this bullshit.
too bad none of this part of the audio is going to be usable, because this would be perfect to put it at the end or something. Anyway, you want to do your clap sync again so you can actually hear it?
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
All right. Now you ready for ours?
Have you heard any of my claps so far?
No.
Okay. No. Try.
Yeah, we got to do
God awful poison.
I know you can hear me, and it sounds wonderful.
I can't hear you.
What? What? Yes, you can.
At all. Are you unmuted on Skype?
Hold on. I'm unmuted, yeah.
Is Skype using your correct microphone?
God bless it. No, I don't... Why would you use that? Why would you think that I wanted you to use the
Changing
webcam
my
microphone?
Speaker setting did not change anything, so I still can't hear you.
You still... Really?
Hello, Skype! You gonna work?
Oh my god.
Oh well, back to Discord, I guess.
Hello?
Okay. You have any idea what's going on over there?
No. I mean, well, it wasn't using... It wasn't... Oh.
Discord. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It wasn't using my microphone, but I changed it. You know what? Whatever. We'll just have to try.
Unmute it again. Try it again.
Can you hear me?
Is this via Skype?
Can you hear me?
I know it's not because it sounds too good.
Oh my god. I hate it. Noise cancellation. Can we go off?
Well.
Can you hear me now?
Fuck it all.
Can you hear me now?
Stupidity at its finest.
What? Can you hear me? Okay. I'm just going to assume that you couldn't hear any of that.
I didn't hear a damn bit of it, so whatever.
It's probably just Skype being... I don't feel like restarting the call.
No, I'm not going to. We're not going to worry about it.
All right, you ready? Let's at least get it into our recordings. 3, 2, 1.
I have no idea.
I guess we'll see.
I haven't the slightest fucking clue.
Okay, well, that's back up. I'm recording on here. I'm recording there. Okay, are we good to go?
Alright, that can go bye-bye. OBS is good. So is Audacity Edition. And RTX is back where it belongs. Okay, we're good.
Well, alright.
Such heart garbage.
Are you ready to begin our Halloween episode, as it were?
If I don't break something over here first, out of frustration, yes, I'm ready to go. Such bullshit. I don't understand.
You love it, and you know it. This show is the best thing ever to produce.
I don't understand why we have so much issue. We know what the fuck we're doing. I think we know what we're doing.
I don't know if it's Skype, or if it's Windows, or if it's a combination of the two, or if it's a combination between Skype, Windows, and OBS. God only knows.